Now, as we all know, over the years, many mythical fighters have been born, such as C-level Cain Velasquez, Pictogram John Jones, Motivated McGregor, No Sparring Max Holloway, One-Eyed Bisping, Patient Ngannou, Third Round Romero, and Predarantil Khamzat. However, at UFC 294, I believe another mythical fighter was born. Now, as we all know, Islam Makhachev, in his first fight with Alexander Volkanovski, had an extremely close fight, with many fans scoring it to Volkanovski. However, due to Australia's laws on weight cutting and hydration, Islam Makhachev was compromised heading into that fight, not being used to such restrictions. Now, clearly, this sounds like a problem, and he should move up a weight class if he's got an issue with the rules. However, now that we've witnessed how a fully hydrated Makhachev would perform, it's hard to deny that hydrated Makhachev could be a new mythical fighter. In his first fight depleted, he went 5 rounds with Volkanovski and still was given the decision on enemy territory. And now, on his homeland, after plenty of IVs and Prime to get those fluid levels up, he sends the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world into the Shadow Realm in the first round with a head kick, proving that during his training camp, he's been pumping XP into those kickboxing attributes. Is there any lightweight that even stands a chance against this monster? I don't see anyone in the top 5 beating him at lightweight. And with a win over Justin Gaethje, we have to start the talks of him being the greatest lightweight ever. Even with his knockout loss, if he beats Oliveira again, which he most likely will, that's 3, and a win over Gaethje would make it 4 straight title defenses, the most in lightweight history. I saw Michael Chandler popping up on Twitter, saying something along the lines of "No one's brought a dogfight to Islam," thinking he's the one to do that. Let's be real, Chandler is barely a contender. He's beaten Dan Hooker and Tony Ferguson and lost to every top 5 opponent he's faced in Poirier, Gaethje, and Oliveira. The dude is overrated, and Islam would smoke him in the first round. If Poirier is taking your back and submitting you, Islam's having a field day. So even though I want to see the fight just because Chandler fights are fun, he's far from deserving of a title shot, so there's literally no one else left for Islam in the division to face. Dustin just got head kicked, Dariush was finished by Charles, and Charles pulled out of his last fight, so who is actually left? Now, let's talk about his chance against the current top welterweights. So welterweight is the only division I see him having any real competition. I feel Colby is a good fight for him. His pace and wrestling would give Islam issues, but ultimately I see Islam out-grappling him and landing the better counter shots, winning a decision. I think Leon is an interesting fight because Leon would definitely be the better striker, and his grappling is pretty good. But I don't know, Islam being so difficult to hit, and he would still have the grappling advantage despite being the smaller man, so I could see him beating Leon by decision as well. I think the only 3 welterweights that could give Islam issues are Usman, Burns, and Shavkat. Burns because of his submission threat, but as proven in the Oliveira fight, Islam would not hesitate to engage with Burns' ground game the way Khamzat did. So out of the 3, Burns is definitely the easiest fight for him. I feel like I am forgetting someone, but I cannot for the life of me seem to remember his name. Usman is a hard one for me to pick because he's shown that he's a 5-round fighter, and the only time Islam has gone 5 rounds, he was gassed and looking at the clock. I think overall Islam has much better striking and is more diverse, but Usman has more power in his hands, and his overall boxing is better. The way he defended Chimaev's grappling, I can see him defending Islam's in a similar way, and he would also be the bigger man instead of the smaller one. I think this is a very close fight and could go either way, but I'd lean toward Islam as, despite being smaller, he is way more well-rounded and has a much better gas tank than Chimaev, so I think he would have more success over 5 rounds against Usman than Khamzat. I'd favor Islam slightly, but I would not be surprised to see Usman win that fight either. Now, the only fighter that I think beats Islam and beats him decisively is Shavkat Rakhmonov. I just don't see a way in which Islam wins this fight. Shavkat's grappling is just as dangerous if not more so than Islam's. He's got the Sambo background and the stand-up to match. I think they're both by far the most well-rounded fighters in their division, and Shavkat, basically being a bigger, stronger version of Islam, I'd have to favor him. Yes, obviously, there are major differences in their striking. Shavkat is more aggressive, and Islam is more elusive. But Shavkat also has an insane chin, and we've seen Islam get hurt multiple times and knocked out cold. So ultimately, I think the only guy capable in the lightweight and welterweight division of defeating the new mythical fighter, Hydrated Makhachev, is Shavkat Rakhmonov. What do you guys think? Do you think anyone at lightweight beats him? Or do you think Colby or Usman can get it done? Let me know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe for more delicious MMA content.